So, I apologize for that. My camera battery actually died. So we are resuming this on my phone. Hopefully, uh, everything will come out fine on this. So, it might be lower quality, but that's okay. Obviously, the sound's going to be lower too. So, the Toolbox Murders. Bit by bit, he carved a nightmare. This is one of my favorite films from the 70s. Cameron Mitchell film. Basically, it's about a guy that's super religious, and he kills bad people, people that he considers naughty, immoral. And he happens to be like the superintendent of the apartment building, and he's a handyman. And so the whole point is, I mean, he's killing off, apartment tenants that are that he considers immoral, you know. There's a scene where a woman is pleasuring herself in the tub. She actually really was doing it. And of course, I can't go into too much detail about it, but shoots her with a nail gun, which is just, some of the scenes are pretty graphic, and yeah, this is just like a really good film. This film also received a remake. It wasn't good in my opinion, though. It really misses a lot of the story. I didn't really like it. But yeah, I'm not crazy about remakes, honestly. There's only one movie really in this pile that I recommend the remake to. And I'll be getting to that. Okay. And here we go with the other David Hess film. House on the Edge of the Park. So, this film was actually done by the director of Cannibal Holocaust. This is his film that came out directly after Cannibal Holocaust. It is a film about... So, this is a film about a bunch of spoiled rich kids that... end up in a house with two strangers. One of them is basically a lunatic that decides to take everybody hostage, and things go far. And but anyway, it's a pretty good film. I like it. It's kind of a I don't want to say it's a rape and revenge film so much. I think it's just, I mean, there is some of that, but I mean, I think it's a little bit more complicated than just rape and revenge. But it is a great film. It's definitely one of my top films, top rated films. I'm definitely going to leave a trailer in the description. This also features Giovanni Lombardo. He plays a slightly, mentally disabled individual. um, who accompanies David Hess. He's like David Hess's best friend in this film. Um, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool film. Um, so I brought this in here because this has the movie Werewolf and the Yeti. The Werewolf and Yeti is featured on the video Nasties. And it's actually a very cool film. I'm a big Nashi fan. And did numerous horror films. In fact, I honestly could do a whole entire video on Paul Nashi right now. Seriously. I mean, I have so many films of his. It's not just this collection. But essentially, it's about somebody that is looking for the Yeti. Basically, they're trying to find real evidence of the Yeti, and then he ends up being turned into a werewolf. So he has this curse, and they go through a Buddhist temple for a cure, and there's like a whole adventure. And there are some gruesome things, including people being skinned alive. You know, so some of the kills in it are pretty good. But yeah, it's a film that came out in Spain, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely one that I recommend. Blood Feast. Herschel Gordon Lewis. Definitely a classic. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been. I mean, anybody that's a fan of horror should see this by now. But it's pretty graphic. I mean, of course, it's a cannibal film. Cooks people, you know. Goes into Ishtar worship, you know, the goddess Ishtar, Ashtarte, whatever you want to call her. Basically, the same goddess that today Wiccans also worship. So it goes into like these ancient rituals and stuff, and it's this guy that worships her, and he, of course, practices it the old Egyptian way. So, there's a film that actually rips this off later, also on this list, called Mardi Gras Massacre. And I'll get into that. Okay, so I decided to just go straight into Mardi Gras Massacre here. You guys may have seen the video that I posted not too long ago. I had about this movie. It was filming locations that I did in New Orleans. It's kind of an old video. I did it with the old camera, so the video quality is not that great. But it features scenes from this movie as well. Mardi Gras Massacre is it's basically like a porn film. The guy that directed this is the only horror movie I think that he ever did. He made porn movies before he got into this, and it really shows throughout the movie. Everything from like the beginning, the way the movie starts, the kind of weird, disco music throughout the movie, the weird sequences that kind of happen. It's a very interesting film. Lampy Man did an excellent review on this. I'm probably going to leave that link in the description box. But I highly recommend that you guys check out my Mardi Gras Massacre filming locations. It should be on the channel. I know YouTube originally took it down. I had some issues with them because they said there was a lot of sex. There was too much sex in it when I posted it originally, because there's a scene where one of the girls is dancing, and so they made a big thing about it, and it wasn't just enough that they wanted it to be 18. Plus, it also got removed. So I had to go back and I had to blur the F out of it, basically. But like Blood Feast, it's a guy who is super religious. He worships a deity, and he cuts people open, removes their hearts. He cuts women. He puts them on an altar and removes their hearts like in Aztec times. So basically, he worships his deity like an Aztec priest. And it's Quetzalcoatl, but interestingly enough, the deity Quetzalcoatl is actually considered a female in this movie, just, just kind of because, we have to be like Blood Feast, right? But it's an entertaining film. A lot of people, obviously you're not getting a masterpiece here. It is what it is. But I like it. And that's why I did a video about it. And then this is another great film. So I have a funny story about this film, actually. This came out in limited numbers when this came out. It was something like, I don't know how many it was or something, but Code Red really underestimated things. They thought they weren't going to have a problem just releasing a limited number of these. But the hilarious thing is, I wanted this movie so badly that I was bidding on this movie on eBay while I was in math class, and it was my final in college. And on one screen I was doing like my math stuff, and then on the other screen I was like bidding on this fucking thing, and it's hilarious. But I was like, I was almost in shock because I like won this. That I barely heard it when the teacher's like, "Oh yeah, you passed your class." So, but yeah, I paid like $70-something for this movie. Literally, I was bidding on this movie while I was in math class. So, but yeah, it's a great film. Basically, a controlling aunt that wants her nephew to stay with her always, and doesn't want him to, like, go to college or something. She gets, like, really angry when he's, so she has some kind of, like, mental illness, and but yeah, it's a pretty good film. Definitely recommend it. Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker. Funhouse, the other Tobe Hooper film that is on this list. I don't understand why this is on this list. It's really, there's nothing gruesome about it. It's a fun movie, but I feel like it's just kind of weird to put this on Video Nasty's list and ban it. But anyway, it's a carnival thing. It's been a while since I watched this, actually. But it's a fun movie. I mean, I'll leave the trailer in the description box, of course. The Slayer. This movie is kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street type of thing before Nightmare on Elm Street. This is like kind of the precursor of that, basically, where things happen in a dream, but they actually happen in reality. It's that type of film. It's pretty good, That's what the creature looks like. So, an Arrow released a pretty good DVD of it, or pretty good Blu-ray / DVD. There is DVD in this. But they always do a pretty good job. It's a pretty good movie. Basically, it's about this like monster thing that kills people and in their nightmares, but it ends up being true when they wake up and stuff, like so this woman sees this thing, and so she can like predict when people are going to die and all that. Nobody believes her, of course, because it's just a nightmare. But yeah, it's a pretty good film. Possession. Not What You Think. Possession is a pretty good film. It's pretty long, and it's basically about a married couple that is struggling. They're going through a divorce, and he finds out that she is actually having an affair with an alien type of creature. The alien, of course, wishes to take over Earth, and there's an alien invasion at the end of the movie, basically. That's what it implies. It's a very good film. Artwork's pretty cool on there with the Medusa. I will tell you that this was actually a very expensive movie. It's well worth it. It's well made. Um, I will definitely be leaving a trailer in the description box. It takes place, in Germany during the communist occupation and all that. So you see the wall, and it creates kind of a claustrophobic type of environment that the characters are involved in. And it's very psychological in a way. And it's just heavily dark film. It's really amazing. So. Cannibal Man, another great film if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, because it villainizes slaughterhouse workers, which is awesome. Basically, it's about a slaughterhouse worker that kills people, and he starts going on kind of a murderous rampage where it just gets out of control, and he seems to kill everybody that's in his life. And the reason why it's called Cannibal Man is simply because there's a scene where he eats some soup and finds out that it came from his slaughterhouse. And of course he's been taking parts of dismembered people to the slaughterhouse and turned them into meat to be consumed. So that's simply why it's called Cannibal Man. I highly recommend it, honestly. It's a pretty good film. There are scenes in the beginning where the cows, of course, are being slaughtered and stuff, but it illustrates perfectly, the whole slaughter business and everything. But I love it. It's a great film. It really is. And then I got some Nazi exploitation films here that appear on the list. Please note that this video is on PC anyway, so while we're on other topics. First one is, I think, Love Camp 7 is one of the first ones that came out. There's not really... Basically, let me explain this genre a little bit to give you some background. Okay. There are numerous movies that kind of go over the same thing. Honestly, you can make a video all about Nazi exploitation. What is it? Basically, well, these movies typically take place on a concentration camp type of scenario where basically you'll see prisoners being degraded, tortured, raped, used in all sorts of ways, methods. Sometimes experimented on. And basically that's kind of what these genres are. There's I think one of them is called Isa Wolf or something. Then there's Kitty Salone. There's quite a few in the genre. I can name several of them, honestly. The three that I have appear on this list. The best one being the Gestapo's Last Orgy, I have to say, as far as story goes. But basically, they're kind of like the Silo film. You're getting kind of the same type of thing. There's a lot of sadism, A lot of things happening to people and stuff. A lot of it's sexual, a lot of it's very fetish, like, that's typically why people are into these type of films. And a lot of it's done in tongue-in-cheek, too. It's not like these films are actually made by Nazis. They're just, simply using the time period to kind of create these sadist type of films, in a way. You know. And a lot of them are quite hilarious, actually. As does Hell Camp, for example. Also known as Beast and Heat, is basically there's a mutated guy supposed to be like an ape man, and he's like, they feed him prisoners and he has sex with them and all that. And but you pretty much get you pretty much get the sleaze when you watch these films. This one's probably a little bit on the tamer side, I have to say, compared to the other two. For one thing, their clothes are mostly on when they're having sex, which is hilarious. But this one's probably my favorite one. And, it says, look, offensive, disturbing, and downright sick. And it is. But that's why people like me who don't believe in censorship like this kind of stuff. And of course it says right here, banned in the UK. Probably the scene that will disturb people the most about this one, honestly, is when they're discussing actually eating Jewish people. Like farming them and raising them for meat. So, it doesn't get any nastier than that, basically. But again, you can choose to watch it, you can choose not to watch it. I'm sure effedupfilms.com has it. Is it effed up films or effed up movies or something? It's a website where they have a lot of sick movies. I watched Man Behind the Sun on there once, and it was pretty sick. And Man Behind the Sun is kind of a similar thing. It features a prison camp, Chinese people being experimented on by the Japanese and all that. It's all in that same kind of genre of taking something like an environment and turning it into an exploitation. Sexual, fetishy, or just sick exploitation in general. So here's Anthropophagus, which the title means man-eater. That's what the title means. Basically a guy that goes around and eats people. It's very gothic in its atmosphere. I highly recommend it. I just got it on Blu-ray because my DVD finally crapped out on me. I had it for a while. Yeah. He's pulling his own guts out there and chewing on them. So, hello, Jerry. Yep. And here is the classic Dead and Buried. This features Robert Englund, which I mentioned earlier. The guy that's Freddy Krueger. So this is a pretty good film. It's It's by the creators of Alien. I think it's better than Alien, personally. I like it more than Alien. Had a little bit of a hiccup with the video. So, unfortunately, I ran out of room on my phone. So, but I fixed it. So, anyway, we are back to Dead and Buried. And as I was saying, I liked it better than Alien. It has some like witchcraft stuff in it. It's basically about a funeral home owner who is so addicted to embalming corpses and fixing them up for funerals that he starts actually having people murdered just so that he can bring them back to life and fix them up. It is a very good film. I highly recommend it. Dead and Buried. It's got to be released on Blu-ray by now. It's pretty cool. Nightmare, or Nightmares in a Damaged Brain, is actually typically what it's called. But when it was released by Code Red, which they did a pretty good job with it, they just called it Nightmare. Basically a guy that gets released from a psychiatric hospital and ends up going after a family in Florida, which, come to find out, are actually his family. And he just mysteriously disappeared. She had no idea that he was in a mental hospital the whole time. So, but unfortunately, it seems like the family reunion is going to be him trying to kill them. So, it's a very good film. It's pretty gruesome. There's some heads being cut off, and it, quite a good kill scenes and all that. It was on a shoestring budget, but it came out pretty good. It's it's definitely one of my favorites, personally. So I will leave a trailer in the description box for this. Madhouse, another good film. A film that years later, Happy Birthday to Me basically ripped off. There's a scene that is very similar to Happy Birthday to Me, if you've ever seen it. This actually came out before Happy Birthday to Me. But basically it's about two sisters. One sister doesn't like the other sister and lives to basically torment her, and tries to kill her, ends up killing people close to her, and of course there's a scene, involving a dog, if people are sensitive to that. To be fair, the dog was aggressively attacking, and anyway, Lampy Man did a pretty good video review of this movie. The film is pretty good. It's pretty gruesome, but it's pretty good. I highly recommend it. So yeah. Delirium, aka Psycho Puppet. Basically about a Vietnam vet that Isn't that a cool cover? That is trained to clean up the streets. Unfortunately, this trained guy goes out of control and he starts killing indiscriminately. The government organization, which is like a CIA underground organization that created him, basically has to clean up the mess now. It's a 70s exploitation film. It just came out in, let's see, when was this? Well, it just came out in Blu-ray recently. I think it was 2 years ago it was released finally. After years and years and years of wanting this, I actually got in touch with Severin and sent them an email and asked them why this was not out yet on Blu-ray. Because I wanted this movie, like, really badly. This is actually a Nasty that I really like. And it's crazy because it's like you'd see all these other films released and all that. Anyway, within months, like, they finally came out with this. So, you know, if you want something released, sometimes you have to get in touch with the company and they'll release it. So, yeah, that's basically what happened. Delirium is a great film. It's basically about the deep state, and yeah, it's pretty good. I highly recommend it. Mountain of the Cannibal God. This is actually my favorite cannibal film. My second favorite being Cannibal Holocaust. Mountain of the Cannibal God is it does have real animal killing in it, like all these other cannibal jungle films. But it's very focused on like adventure and this woman who's looking for her lost husband. And of course they encounter a cannibal tribe, and she's you know, she's a porn star too, so you know, you have to expect there's definitely going to be some ass in this, of course. But yeah, it's a pretty good film. Yep. Ursula Andress. Yeah, some of the kill scenes are pretty interesting. It's just your typical Italian cannibal jungle adventure that kind of I believe this actually came out before Cannibal Holocaust, I believe. It says 1978, so this actually predates Cannibal Holocaust. But it's pretty good. Don't Go in the Woods. It's a camping slasher film. It's hard to say if it's really meant to be serious. Sometimes it's more comical than serious. It's almost like a horror comedy. It's a pretty good film though. I like it. I mean, it is what it is. I do recommend it. Once again, it's released by Code Red here. I don't know if anybody else has released it, but I do believe that it's on Blu-ray also. So, yeah, it says this morning, this motion picture depicts scenes of graphic violence. Yeah, no shit. Kind of hilarious at times, though. I already talked about this in my previous video, Fight for Your Life. Yeah. I mean, I'm probably not going to reshare the trailer just because it's on the other video. But there's really not much more that I can say about it. It's a pretty good film. It's in that same vein as Last House on the Left. You know, kind of a rape and revenge type of film. And obviously it's you know, very, you know, controversial on PC, divisive nature. Cannibal Holocaust, I'm not, you know, once again, because I already covered it in my other video, I'm not really going to go into it too much. It's definitely the beginning of the found footage genre, basically. It paved the way for films later on, like the Blair Witch Project. So, yeah, it's definitely a first of its kind when it came out. Evil Dead, yes, believe it or not, Evil Dead was banned. It was featured on this list. One would not think so, but it was. Yeah, it's basically Sam Raimi's first film. It was a student project. I don't think he was expecting it to become a cult classic, but it put him on the map, basically. So, yeah. There's not much I can say about this movie, honestly. It's a great film. Everybody should see it, definitely. It's a cult classic. Evil Dead. Visiting Hours. A killer who fails at killing a woman decides to stalk her in a hospital. It's a pretty good film. I like it. William Shatner appears in it. Yep. There is no known cure for murder. So, yeah. He's basically stalking her through the hospital. It's a pretty good film. Visiting Hours.